Alright guys, so yesterday we finished questions 20 and 20 to 24, from 20 to 24. So now let's move on to 25. Now what you need to do is you need to search for the grammar, the structure of all of the sentences here from A to D. Okay, question 25, they include 4 sentences here, and it looks maybe quite strange to some of you, so much better if you can search for that yourself and try to understand that, and then you tell me. And after that I'm going to explain everything, of course, but I want you to do some research first, and then if you are able to explain everything to me, then it means that you understand that correctly. Go. Alright guys, now let's try with the first one. Question 25, which of the following best paraphrases the underlined sentence in paragraph 3, right? And here we have the underlined sentence. Exposing this deception is essential if cliches are to be replaced by real measurable emission cuts. TOEIC, can you please explain that to me? The underlined sentence, explain that to me. If what? If we want to
replace the things that they just talk and don't do anything. By real.
Yeah. Cliche, what does that mean?
The things that they talk but they don't do.
Yeah, like empty words. Exactly, yes. So cliches means empty words. Yeah? I mean that they just say something, they say, oh, we will do our best to reduce the carbon dioxide emission to the environment, but actually they don't do anything, or they didn't do anything at all. Okay, or they didn't do much. They tried to do, they just try to show that, oh, they did something, but actually they didn't. So that's cliches. I mean, empty words. You can write in short, empty words. I mean, just say, just talk, but don't do anything. So exposing this deception, that means you expose it, means you reveal the lie, or just to make sure that everyone can see it. Okay, that's just a lie. Okay, it's essential or is necessary if cliches, that means empty words, are to be replaced by real measurable emission cuts. That means that if we want real measurable emission cuts to replace empty words, it is necessary to expose the deception first. And what kind of deception here? Deception in this case, what is that? They're talking about what? Greenwashing. Yes, again. So yesterday we all discussed about greenwashing, and then you see they use many different words, right, to describe it. So we have where is that? We have greenwashing. That's the first word. What else do we have? Glossy PR. Yeah, something like that. So greenwashing, glossy PR. What else do we have? Yeah, we have green pen sprayer. And now we have what? What? Deception, yes. We have some kind of deception. Okay? And also another word which have similar meaning to that one as well. That is? Yeah, cliches. Okay? So that means all of them just empty words. They just talk and they don't do anything. So you see? So they just go around. Yeah, talking about the same thing, but they use different ways of explaining. Okay? So it's very clear, right? Okay, so to do that, that means that in this case, that means if we want real measurable emission cuts to replace empty words, cliches in this case, it is necessary to expose greenwashing or deception first. Yeah? Now let's go one by one. Wait, first, what is the answer here? What's the answer? B. Okay. The answer is B, right? Okay. The answer is B. Okay, we will go to that later. Now let's go to A. Ngọc Anh, read that.
What is not for
Genuine.
efforts to reduce emissions.
Rhetoric.
About greenwashing could not be brought to light.
Not be brought to light. Yeah. Okay. Now, do you understand that? Explain that. Explain that to me. What? You said you understand it, but you can't explain it? I mean, you don't understand anything at all. Go, try. Okay, you don't get it. Thiên Nga.
If it's not for the report to cut down on emission, such as about greenwashing could not be like we show up.
Yes, yeah, kind of, yeah. So that means that here, were it not for genuine efforts to reduce emissions, that means that if there were no genuine efforts, that means real efforts to reduce emissions, like carbon dioxide emissions, rhetoric, what does that mean? Yeah, Thiên Nga said that is cliches, just like cliches, right? Yes, she's right. Rhetoric, in this case, it means empty words or cliches. About greenwashing, like the deception, right? Could not be brought to light, that means could not be shown and then could not be recognized. Yeah? Could not be revealed. So that's the real meaning of this. So, is that correct? Is that correct? Yes or no? So guys, these structures kind of the inversion here. You can see some inversion here. So that's why it's kind of messy in your head and it's very hard. Okay, do you understand? So if you want to answer these questions properly, then you need to read that or read them a couple of times. So why this one is wrong? Why A is wrong? I see something rhetoric about greenwashing could not be brought to light. It makes sense, right? Genuine efforts to reduce emissions. I also can see that. It's kind of, it's okay for me. So why? So what's wrong here? We can see all of the words there, right? Genuine efforts. Genuine efforts, that means like genuine efforts to reduce emissions is something like real measurable emission cuts. Huh? Rhetoric, cliches about greenwashing. Okay, why? What? What's wrong? Càng đọc càng rối. Sorry. Oh yeah, tell me, try. You can give it a try. Explain it to me why A is wrong.
Because the underlying sentence say that we need to show the cliches if we want to replace this by real. But this sentence say that we need to have the genuine efforts.
Yeah, genuine efforts. That means real measurable emission cuts. Yeah.
And then we can show the real.
We can review that. Yeah. So.
I think it's opposite.
Yeah, it's opposite, right? Yes, you're right. Okay, yeah, TOEIC is correct. Guys, here. From the underlined sentence here, you see the first step is what? What do you have to do first? What is the first step in the underlined sentence? What is the first step?
Show the deception.
Exposing the deception. That's what you have to do first. Okay? So now here, guys, step one. Step one, you have to reveal or you have to show. You have to reveal, right? Reveal the deception. That's step one, and then it will lead to step two. What is that? Yeah. Cliches are to be replaced by real measurable emission cuts. That means step two, you will have emission cuts. Okay? If you can reveal the deception, you will have emission cuts. You understand? Yeah, in short, it's just like that. Exposing the deception is essential. That means that you have to expose the deception first. That means you have to reveal the deception first. You have to make sure that everyone knows about that. Everyone knows this is the lie. Greenwashing is the lie. Okay? That is the first step. And then what would you have if you do that? Cliches, that means empty words, are to be replaced by real measurable emission cuts. That means that after doing that, you will have something like emission cuts for real. Okay, so step 1, review the deception. Step 2, you will have emission cuts. Got that? Now, how about A? A and so exposing the deception is essential. Okay, blah, blah, something like that. Okay. Now A, what does it say? Wait not for genuine efforts to reduce emissions. That means that if there were no genuine efforts to reduce emissions, so that means that step one you have to do what? Reduce emission. Okay. So the other one is like here. This is step 1, and this is step 2. Kind of opposite, right? Because here they say were not for genuine efforts to reduce emissions. That means if there were not this or these things, then the greenwashing or the deception could not be revealed, could not be brought to light. Okay, so that means that they said that okay, we need to have emission cuts first, and then we can reveal the deception. You understand? It's the opposite. That's why A is wrong. Yeah. Now B, this one is correct, right? Thư, read that.
Genuine efforts to reduce emissions cannot take the place of rhetoric without investing being uncovered.
Yeah, genuine efforts to reduce emissions cannot take the place of rhetoric without greenwashing being uncovered. Okay, now could you please explain that?
I think this we can't switch to the real action unless the greenwashing is revealed.
We cannot we cannot switch to what?
We cannot switch to the real action unless the greenwashing is revealed.
Yeah, kind of. Yes, kind of. Genuine efforts to reduce emission cannot take the place of rhetoric. When we say cannot take the place of rhetoric, what does that mean? Cannot take the place of something? What does that mean?
Replace.
What? Replace. Cannot take the place of, that means replace. Hơi ngược. Yeah, cannot replace. Okay? Cannot take the place of, that means cannot replace. Not replace only, otherwise the meaning will be kind of messy. Okay? So cannot take the place of rhetoric, that means cannot replace rhetoric or empty words or cliches. Okay? Yeah? And here they say genuine efforts to reduce emissions cannot take the place of rhetoric. That means, in short, that means genuine efforts to reduce, that means emission cuts cannot happen. Okay, make it short. Genuine efforts to reduce emission cannot take the place of rhetoric. That means emission cuts cannot happen without what? Without greenwashing being uncovered. Being uncovered means being exposed, being revealed, being exposed. Okay? Alright, guys? So that's why B makes sense, right? Alright? Yeah. So remember, genuine efforts to reduce emission cuts cannot take the place of rhetoric. That means emission cuts cannot happen, or we don't have emission cuts without greenwashing being covered. That means without greenwashing being exposed. Alright? Now C, Hương.
Not
Not until genuine efforts to cut down on emissions are recognized could the truth about greenwashing be concealed. Explain that.
It's wrong because the underlying sentence want to expose the deception, but in this sentence they have the word concealed. That means they want to show deception.
Concealed means?
This means they hide it.
Yeah, they try to hide it, right? Prevent something from being seen or known about. Yeah? So here, it kind of is a mess. Everything is wrong here. Not until genuine efforts to cut down on emissions are recognized. Wait, the first one, what does that mean? Just make it short. What does that mean?
This means they want to reduce the emission. They just want
Yeah, try. I know it's hard. I didn't say that these sentences are easy. That's why we have one lesson for this. I didn't say it's easy. Yeah, you're almost there. Tell me again.
we want to show people that they cut down on emissions, and before that they can hide the truth of emission.
Yeah, kind of opposite and messy. It's not very clear yet. Huy. No?
I think this sentence is wrong because the real no one wants the real efforts could be concealed.
No one wants the real effort could be concealed. No, it's just a mess. No. Someone else, please. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I know. Tử.
I think in this means when a real effort to reduce all emission or recognized in this means human can see that and the truth.
Okay, still a mess there. Alright, okay. Someone else, please. TOEIC, can you do that?
When
Mm-hmm.
people recognize their real efforts,
Mm-hmm.
then the truth about people's things can be hidden.
Okay. Yeah, kind of. Guys, now let me explain. Not until genuine efforts to cut down, real efforts to cut down on emissions are recognized here. When they say that genuine efforts to cut down emissions are recognized, means we have the real emission cuts here. Not only that. So that means, again, guys, for C, this one happened first. Emission cuts first. Okay? Emission we have first. Because they say not until that happened, right? That means not until we have emission cuts. Yeah? And then what do we have? The truth about greenwashing be concealed. The truth about greenwashing be concealed means be covered or be hidden. So it's wrong again. It's not even be exposed, but it is covered, it is hidden. So two wrong things here. Number one, the wrong order. Okay? Because according to the underlined sentence, step one, we need the deception to be exposed first. Okay? The deception must be exposed first, and then we will have emission cuts. Right? But then here they say that we need to have the emission cuts first, and then if they say greenwashing be revealed or exposed, and it's still wrong, but at least it makes sense with the sentence. But no, it's also opposite this one. Okay, so there are two wrong things here. Number one, there's an inversion here. I mean, opposite. That means the emission cuts happen first, and then we have the deception. But the deception is not exposed, or it's not revealed. It's just being hidden. It's wrong and wrong. You understand? Có nghĩa trong câu này có hai cái sai nha. Cái câu A có một cái sai thôi nha. Câu A chỉ có một cái sai là ngược, tức là step 1 trước, step 2 sau. Còn cái câu C này là sai hai cái luôn. Nó đã ngược cái câu là step 1 nó đã để trước rồi. Ok, emission cuts nó đã để trước rồi. Mà còn khúc sau lại còn không đúng luôn. You understand? Cái khúc sau lại ra và phải expose, là phải để cho mọi người biết đằng này là che đậy luôn. Còn sai, còn thêm sai nữa. You understand? Got it, guys? So two wrong things here. Actually, the meaning in C is just very similar to A, but it is even worse. Because for A, at least you still have greenwashing could not be brought to light. But here they say in C, greenwashing be concealed. Okay? So anyway, A and C are wrong. Got it? Yeah. Now D. Tú Yên. Ok, Ngọc Anh, go.
No sooner has empty resolution minimize emissions than the plan choose about greenwashing was
Elucidated.
elucidated.
Yeah, no sooner had anti-resolutions minimize emissions than the planned truth about greenwashing was elucidated. All right, could you please explain that? Thiên Nga. No. Thư. No. Hương. At least try to explain something to me, guys. Trời, đừng nói các bạn không thèm sách câu này, các bạn quăng bỏ câu này nha, có 25 điểm hơi quăng đại cho nhanh. Yes, I know, but we are learning here, so we need to try to understand all of them. Yeah? Otherwise, if we just throw them away, then there's nothing to learn. Cô đi bạn nào dịch được nào? Who? Yeah. Yeah, kind of, but okay, guys. So first of all, no sooner had empty resolution minimized emissions. What is wrong here first? If you read the first part, you already see it's wrong. We don't need to read everything. No sooner had empty resolution minimized emissions. What is that? What does that mean? Huh? Yeah, empty resolutions. Resolutions here, like not only empty words. Yeah, here it means it's almost like empty words. They don't do anything. But here, empty resolution. That means empty rules. Empty rules. That means here, the governments or the governments or the authorities of some countries, they can pass some kind of resolutions or regulations, okay, about emissions or something like that, and they think that those kind of resolution can minimize emissions. But here they say empty resolutions. That means kind of empty rules. That means the rules do not work, and something do not work can minimize emissions. So it doesn't make any sense, right? Empty resolutions, I mean like kind of useless rules, useless regulations, and useless regulations cannot minimize emissions. You understand? So it's wrong from the beginning already. Okay? Got it? Ý nói là những nghị quyết suông đó bạn, những nghị quyết sáo rỗng, trống rỗng, những nghị quyết suông đã giúp giảm thiểu cái emissions. Nghe là nghị quyết suông mà tức là nghị quyết có chân chơi thôi, làm sao mà xử lý được cái vấn đề đó, mới cái câu đó thôi là như đó là đủ sai rồi. Okay, so now let's try to explain the whole thing. No sooner had empty resolutions minimize emissions than the plain truth about greenwashing was elucidated. That means right after. That means which one happened first? Which one happened first? The first part or the second part? It's kind of messy here again. So someone said the first one and someone said the second one. Which one happens first? In this sentence, which one happened first? No, the first part happened first. The first part means as soon as or immediately after. You can underline that. You can underline no sooner. That means as soon as. Okay? As soon as or immediately after. So that means as soon as the first part happens, then we will have the second part. Yeah? That means as soon as the empty resolutions minimize emissions. That means empty resolution work. Okay? Work effectively. Then what happens? The plain truth. The plain truth. What does that mean? The plain truth. What does that mean? That means the truth or clear. Plain, that means very clear, basic, clear. So the plain truth, I mean that the real, the real truth or something. Okay, the real thing about greenwashing was elucidated. Elucidated, what does that mean? Exposed. Yeah, exposed in this case. Exposed in this case. So that means only after this one happened first. I mean, minimize emission, that one happened first, and then what? The truth about greenwashing was exposed. So at least they have the second part correct, right? The truth about greenwashing was exposed. That sentence is correct. Is correct with the if cliches are to be replaced by real measurable emission cuts, but it's still in the wrong order, guys, right? Because in the underlined sentence here, we see that we need to have what? We need to expose the deception or the greenwashing first, and then we will have emission cuts, right? But here again, they say we will have greenwashing to be exposed later. You understand? It's still in the wrong order, right? Do you understand? It's still in the wrong order. We need the plain truth about greenwashing to be elucidated first. That should be the first step. Then we will have emission cuts. That is the meaning of the underlined sentence, right? But no, in this case, we will have the other part first, and then we will have the greenwashing to be elucidated or to be exposed. So wrong order in this case, opposite order. So that's the first thing, the first thing which is wrong. And also the second wrong thing is empty resolution cannot minimize emissions. So two wrong things here. Just the same as C. C, we also have two wrong things, right? Wrong order and also wrong meaning. D also wrong meaning and also wrong order. Okay? And A is just like the wrong order, opposite order. Yeah? So B is the correct answer here. Got it? Yeah, guys? Yeah, câu 1 là bị ngược. Step 1 and 2 ngược. Câu B thì đúng. Câu C thì là vừa ngược vừa sai ý nghĩa chỗ concealed. Câu D là vừa ngược vừa sai ý nghĩa chỗ empty resolutions minimize emissions. Do you understand? Yeah. Rồi bây giờ có bạn nào check cái ngữ pháp chưa? Bạn nào xung phong giải thích cho thầy cái ngữ pháp câu A coi. Cái này là cái gì vậy? Ngữ pháp gì búa xuôi vậy? Yeah. Đấy. Mình phải học đi chứ lỡ đâu mai mốt đến kỳ kiểm tra tiếp theo mình đọc vô câu này mình lại rối nữa. You understand? Now tell me. Just explain the structure here, the grammar structure here. Were not for genuine efforts to reduce emissions, rhetoric about greenwashing could not be brought to light. What is the structure here? Explain that to me. Yeah, this is a conditional sentence. Which one? 1, 2, 3? 3. Second. 1. My God. Why do we have all of them? Second, yes. This is the second conditional sentence. Yes, okay. All right. Go on. Explain that to me. So were it not for genuine efforts to reduce emissions, rhetoric about greenwashing could not be brought to light. So were it not for genuine efforts, why do we write like that? Why do we write like that?
Change the order of the words.
Yeah, you change the order of the words. Why? Why should we do that? Think about it. Why do we do that? Chưa bảo là sách thì hả? Really? No. Ok. Là phải xóa cái bảng này để cho mấy guys. You know this one, right? Can I erase it? This one, right? Simple present, simple past, and then past participle. You know, right? Đọc lại get, got, these things you know, right? Okay, let's remove, erase this. Đừng lần nào không biết cái bảng này nha, đứa nào chưa biết bảng này về nhỏ học một lần nha. Bảng từ bố bị tắt cái gì đó. You understand? Good. What?
Học chứ vô ra trên cũng đi tùm lum nữa.
Okay. So were it not, actually that is a second conditional structure. And actually, we use that to replace the word if. You don't see the word if, right? But actually, the meaning is with if. You understand? So in fact, we need to write if plus what? Which tense is this?
Subject.
No, I know the tense. Yeah, I know subject, and then but the sentence here. Which tense?
Past simple.
Yeah, past simple, simple past, right? Past simple. And then what do we have after that? The main clause, what do we have? We have would or could plus what kind of verb? What kind of verb? Huh? Trời ơi. Sau what? Verb bear. Verb past participle. Verb bear là con gì? Con bé hả? Con bé hả? Verb gì vậy cả? What kind of verb? Passive verb after would, could. Trời ơi. Yeah, the base verb, the base form of the verb infinitive. Okay? Base plus base verb. Okay? So this is the structure. We have if plus past participle, and then we have would, could for the main clause plus the base form of the verb. Got it? So that's why here for A, if we don't write like this, were it not for genuine efforts to reduce emissions, what should we write? Guys, I want you to write there in your notebook something. Go, do it. Cái phần này mình đang luyện ngữ pháp với writing, các bạn viết cho thầy thì ngồi nói cũng như không tác dụng. You write it. You look at that and you transform sentence A to the if form. Do it. You think carefully and you write. For example, here we have you have a test at school, right? And they say just rewrite that sentence using if. You may have that at school, right? Do it. Finished? Yes? Okay, can someone tell me? Thiên Nga, this one for you. Go. Cái gì hỏi xong chưa tưởng đứa nào cũng yes xong tự kêu đọc đứng hình là sao? Rồi Huy, go.
If it were not for general effort to reduce emissions, rhetoric about washing could not be brought to life.
Yes. Okay, guys, look over here. So we have were it not for, right? The sentence were it not for something, and then if we replace it by if, we just say if it were not for something, we just write the same. And then for would could base verb, we have rhetoric. We have rhetoric about greenwashing. We have could not be, and could not be, then would could less base form, right? and then brought to life, that is just a past participle. But here we care about what? The structure here. We have if and participle, that is, it were not for. And then you just write the same thing and comma. We need would, could, right? So that is rhetoric about washing, and then could not. Yeah, we can could not, depends on the meaning, right? And then the base verb. So the base verb here is be. Okay. So it's very simple. You just replace it with if like this. You say if it were not. Yeah. If it were not for genuine efforts to reduce emissions, rhetoric about greenwashing could not be brought to light. So it's almost the same. And the reason why we write it like that is what? To be more polite, that's it. That is kind of formal writing. We can use that for advanced writing and in IELTS. Okay? Why is that? Because they try to replace the word if. They don't want to see if there in a sentence. So and because it looks very, casual, and it's not very formal. If we see the word if there, just like I and you or something in writing. You understand? We try to avoid using them. Yeah. Okay guys, now I give you one sentence. Were he to arrive now. Were he to arrive now, we would still be on time. Still be on time. Now we write this with if. Do it. Were he to arrive now, we would still be on time. We write that one, the sentence with if. Actually, we have two ways of writing this. Finished? Okay, Hương, tell me. We would still be on time. Yeah? So instead of were he to arrive now, you say if he were to arrive now, and then the rest just the same. Okay? Nhưng cấu trúc này là cấu trúc were to plus verb. Okay? Cấu trúc là cấu trúc were to plus verb. Rồi, I need someone to write that one with the past simple. It's also like past simple already, but the normal past simple. Do it, guys. Tự làm gì ngồi ngắm không vậy? Viết đi chứ. Học writing mà ngồi ngắm nè. Các bạn không thể học speaking bằng cách ngồi im. Các bạn không thể học writing bằng cách ngồi ngắm nha. All right, finished. Who can do that? Yeah, we have, if we were to arrive now, we would still be on time, right? And we are using were to plus verb. Now I just want some regular simple past tense. Alright, Thư, tell me.
If he arrived now, we would still be on time.
Yeah, arrived. How? How can you write arrived? What?
Arrived.
Spell that.
A-R-R-I-V-E-D.
Yes. If he arrived now. Okay, arrived là quá khứ nha các bạn. Simple past. If he arrived now, we would still be on time. Yeah? Do the same. If, and then we have he, and then simple past of the verb. Arrived now, and the rest will be the same. Yeah? Okay. Rồi các bạn có 3 cách viết ha. We can say if he arrived now, we would still be on time. Or if he were to arrive now, we would still be on time. Or we say were he to arrive now. And this one is more formal. Okay? Were he to arrive now is more formal. And it's really good for writing, but it's hard. This one is for speaking. You can use that for writing as well, but at some kind of the advanced level, they try to replace that. Okay, they try to invert that with were he to arrive now. Got it? Đó là lý do tại sao mà trong rất nhiều bài viết các bạn sẽ không có thấy người ta dùng mấy chữ if này kia trong bài văn hay là bài reading IELTS, especially IELTS, right? You won't see that. Mấy chữ như I, they, him gì đó, her, you won't see it, right? Mấy cái chữ đó bạn rất ít nhìn trong cái advanced writing, because they just invert that, right? B is easy, right? The structure is clear. It just goes as normal, as usual. Genuine efforts to reduce emissions cannot take the place of rhetoric without greenwashing being uncovered. This is easy, right? C. Not until genuine efforts to cut down emissions are recognized could the truth about greenwashing be concealed. What kind of structure here? Okay guys, rewrite that one with if. Finished? Okay. Doing. A little bit. Yeah, almost correct. One wrong thing. And it changes the meaning. Can be concealed. No, could be concealed is correct. Because look, we are using could, would, could. Or can is fine, but because they're using could, right? There's nothing wrong. We just make it more polite. That's it. So what is wrong in her sentence? Ngọc Anh, read that. Read your sentence.
If the news effort to cut down on emissions are not recognized the truth about greenwashing could be concealed.
Yeah, are not recognized. Okay. So if genuine efforts to cut down on emissions are not recognized, the truth about greenwashing could be concealed. Okay? Because here they say not until genuine, that means that we need to have this one first, right? Not until genuine efforts to cut down emissions are recognized. So we can replace that with if genuine efforts to cut down emissions are not recognized, then the other thing won't happen. Yeah? So the first part must happen first and then the second part will happen. So if genuine efforts to cut down emissions are not recognized, the truth about greenwashing could be concealed. Or you can, but here we say, could the truth about greenwashing be concealed, right? Why is that? Why is that? Okay, so actually not until genuine efforts to cut down emissions are recognized could the truth, they just inverse that, okay? Actually they need to write the truth about greenwashing could be concealed, Okay, but they just invert that and just make it sound a little more formal and more polite. That's all. Okay. So here in this case, you can say the truth about greenwashing could be concealed. Yeah. Not until genuine efforts you cut down ambitions are recognized, the truth about greenwashing could be concealed. Yeah. Okay, the last one, guys. Okay, yeah, guys, before going to D, for C, if you use the structure not until genuine efforts you cut down emissions are recognized, you have to invert, you have to put could right after that. Okay, the meaning is just like the truth about greenwashing could be concealed, but the formal writing structure is could the truth about greenwashing be concealed. All right, if you use not until, you have to put could before the subject and for the main clause. Okay, if you use not until, because that kind of inverted already, so the main clause should be inverted as well. So not until genuine efforts you cut down emissions are recognized, we have to put could the truth about greenwashing be concealed. We cannot just say the truth about greenwashing could be concealed. Even the meaning is just the same. Okay, but the structure should be kept like this. Okay, yeah, for C. But if you replace that with if, that is another story. Okay, if you replace that with if, you have to say if genuine efforts to cut down emissions are not recognized, the truth about greenwashing could be concealed. Yeah, a little bit complicated. Cái cấu trúc nó hơi rắc rối ha. Cái nếu bạn dùng not until thì phía sau bạn phải inverted nha. Ok, bạn dùng not until thì phía sau bạn phải inverted main clause, bạn phải để chữ could hay là would gì đó ở trước nhé. Còn bạn dùng mình để if bình thường thì bạn viết xuôi giống như bình thường là if genuine efforts to cut down emissions are not recognized, the truth about greenwashing could be concealed. Yeah. Ok. Thôi rồi để cái câu tri cho lần tới đi nha. Alright. Okay guys, that's it for today.